because I won't get the the text printout where you sign in and out if I don't do that. So
Or you want me to stay since we're going to do it later? Or
no, if you're going to do it later, you don't have to stay. If you've already done it, Jace, you've already done yours. Needless to say, yesterday I did not get an opportunity, which I had hoped, to contact the registrar's office and find out about LDC courses that you can take, or different things. That I had one other thing that had to do with the registrar's office that was related to that. So what the rule is that your last 60 hours have to be completed at the 4-year degree. But what Jace found out, Jace, you can tell them what you found out about filling out a form, not being at LDCC. If you're not going to get a degree there, you're not coming back there, whatever. Can you give us some information about that?
Yeah, like all I know is the financial aid told me there's like this thing you have to fill out. It's like a long process that if you just go there for like a summer class, there's a possibility you can go there and they'll transfer your grades, but you definitely can't. I don't think you can do like a year there if
Yeah, right. No, you couldn't do that. No, I know you couldn't do that because you would have to be registered there, as a full-time student, I would guess, if you're going to go there for
someone in admin yesterday, and because there was some confusion amongst our group about if you're a super senior, you can't attend Delta, but the lady in admin said that that's not true. You can attend, you can just, you have to apply as a non-degree seeking student.
Ah, that's it. Okay.
And,
so you applied there?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you go ahead.
Yeah, you just apply as a non-degree seeking student, and that way you'll be able to bypass all the formalities of taking the longer way around if you're not planning, if you're just visiting. And it's also an option as a visiting student as well, if you're just going to do a semester and take a couple of classes.
I gotcha. Okay. But what about that form that Jace is talking about? Do you have to fill something out at ULM too?
I'm not really sure, because that's about the financial aspect, the financial aid aspect of it. And I was planning on paying out of pocket if I had to attend this summer.
Right. Okay. All right. So to be clear, you can do an LDCC class. Like, say some of you, as I've been advising you, some of you struggle with Spanish or your foreign language. You have to get
exactly what I was. That's
right.
Exactly what I was checking.
Yeah. We didn't make your advising appointment. I'm trying to grab my schedule here. And I think I must have grabbed everything but that. So, shoot. I thought I grabbed the advising schedule because, oh my. But anyway, yeah, I think you're rescheduled because I know I emailed you, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to. I thought we were saying 8 o'clock this morning.
Oh.
And I emailed you again, asking, did I miss the Zoom link?
Oh, no, you did not, dear. You did not. No. So we'll go ahead and do you first. So let's, so you're. Wait, I can't. What?
Somebody's background.
Patty, is that you? Because we're having trouble here, and somebody's got background noise. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so here's what I propose. So thank you, Jace, and thank you, Tamara, for clarifying that. So if you're out of pocket, we've got two things here going. If financial aid is involved in some way for you, then you have a process you have to go through to make sure that you have to go through, and registrar's office apparently will direct you about that, or financial aid one, right? So you need to go to registrar's office if you have financial aid involved in making a decision to get one of your requirements from LDCC, like Spanish, which I have recommended because I've been hearing consistently and advising that students are struggling with that second Spanish, especially. So I understand you have to go in speaking Spanish, whether you're ready or not. So maybe going to LDCC would be a better route. I don't know. So I'm glad to have that clarified. So we understand now that you can do that. You register as a non-degree seeking student. So that's clear. Even if you are, what did you, that's the first I'd heard that. Tamara, you said a super senior?
It's when you have over, I want to say maybe 160 credit hours,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
considered a super senior.
Oh, wow. Is that among students or is that, I need to go check and find out some status
Like
about that?
I don't know if students coined it but it's legit a thing. I know because when financial aid, you have a certain amount of time that you,
Right.
for your degree, that you can continue to receive financial aid. So if I'm not mistaken, it is a thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I've heard
I
that super senior.
say again, Jace.
I've heard that term as well, super senior. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the
Well,
fall, I'll be a super senior. I've been in school for 4.5 years now. Yay.
you're what you're perennial students if you're super seniors. You like learning.
I feel old.
God, you are not old. Look who you're talking to. Come on now. Young people, just a full future ahead of you. So there you go. Okay,
Dr.
so
Savage.
yes, go ahead, Hannah.
So I'm just a little bit confused as to what's
Okay.
going on. Okay, so about the advising, so the rest of us who need to be advised, what is the process of that happening today? I'm sorry, I guess I hopped on at 9, but everybody was talking, so just trying to
Okay.
see what's going on.
Okay, what's going on is that I am just totally thrown because I'm in Alabama in Birmingham where a whole stream of tornadoes just passed through.
Oh my
Fortunately,
gosh, are
where
you
I am
okay?
located, there was no damage, but a couple of harrowing stories, one involving my daughter I wanted to tell you all about real quickly if you're interested. But we ended up, there were so far last night while they were getting information, but they did, 5 people actually died, a lot of people into hospitals, a lot of destruction out in a little town called Pelham, especially, but that it happened to be right where my daughter was returning an RV, because that Pelham and Leeds are 2 towns right together that got a lot of damage, and several other outlying rural communities in the path that went all the way to, it started really outside of Tuscaloosa and went all the way to Atlanta. And it started right during our class yesterday in child abuse class at we started at 12:30, and it was kind of weird. The alarms went off and lightning struck and thunder and so on, and finally I said, with the alarms still going, I said, I think I probably need to go. So I just left the room and didn't even realize I had not turned it off. But that's what's going on, Hannah. I'm discombobulated yet again because this time of being in the midst of the tornado paths that were going on here where I'm located right now. And so what we're going to do today is advise. If you were scheduled for advising yesterday, I think I sent emails to those of y'all that I could in between the shuffling around we were doing to get to shelter. So I'm proposing that since you have to be in class today, if you have not already been advised, then we could go ahead and do that during this time. So I could let you go into a breakout room so you have, privacy if you stay online, or you can just leave and then rejoin. Is that clear?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then, okay, and then also what we were talking about was clarifying students who are being advised and the issue of getting classes at Delta, for example, or online somewhere, I guess, for that matter. And what you do is you register as a non-degree seeking student in order to do that. And that if you have financial aid involved, then you need to make sure you contact the registrar's office and you do what is necessary. I would assume, Jace, is through financial aid as well.
Yes, ma'am. I believe so.
Okay, so start with registrar, probably end up at financial aid to be able to address that so that you can be sure those credits will count. And you can, as super seniors that I just learned about, which is kind of fun. I love learning new stuff. So super seniors, which is when you have switched majors, as Reagan was talking about, and then you know, that you can still receive financial aid apparently, but you have to make sure you do that paperwork, which is, Jay says and was told, somewhat a long process. So that's what we were talking about. Are you up to speed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Also, for everybody who is a super senior who's feeling really bad about it, because I had that moment too, just know that everybody's journey is different. And everything that has happened so far in your college career has happened for a reason. And your
There
story
you go.
throughout your education is going to be amazing for what you do with that in the future in our field, especially since social work has everything from every walk of life that you could ever want. So I just want to give that a little bit of encouragement to everybody who may be feeling a little bit defeated about being in school longer. But I promise you, it is okay. And there are other people who are going through the same thing. And there are only a certain amount of us in the program now, so we should be there for one another.
Well, here I am in my pajamas and my JSU pajamas straight from shelter to tell you all this. I am just, you've made my day, Miss Gray, because that is exactly what y'all need to be doing for each other. You are, as we had late night discussions, you know, waiting for power and all that last night. My son and I, and professions, he was interested in why I was wanting to know about his technical jargon, because it has to do with socialization. Hannah, you just epitomized my entire late night conversation with my son, because that is exactly what we want to see and hear from y'all as social work, future social work professionals, is that you have that capacity for empathy, for support, for encouragement, for building on strengths, realizing that you have strengths, as you just articulated, by your journeys and by being super seniors, having more hours than you need, changing majors. That is not only normal for any college student. Average change of major is 7 times for traditional students, for real. Well, even non-traditional students sometimes. So good for you. You just made my day. So, you know, makes me not feel quite so guilty not having the content ready for lecture today. So we'll just have to double step next time, Monday and Wednesday, because we don't have Friday because we're off, right? So thank you very much. Okay. So with that, oh yeah, I was going to tell you real quick. So here's what happened. The closest call we had was my daughter had rented a small SUV that she drove by herself with her 3 children, 11, 9, and 7, to all the way to North Carolina, and along the way camped with some good friends of hers that she hasn't seen in a while. And was like a journey for her in more ways than one, because it was a true victory as a single woman. Now, don't think I didn't, as a mom, worry about that the entire way, but she did great. Everything went fine. I didn't call her once. I let her dad do that. And he reported back to me, making sure she was okay. But when she was coming back and returning the RV, that's when the storm waves began to hit. And so here she is right at Leeds. They just built a brand new Buc-ee's. Some of y'all may be familiar with Buc-ee's in Texas, the big that have this mega bathrooms, mega gas pumps, whatever. So they just built one right there at Leeds. So my daughter is, she's starting to drive into the rain, the wind's picking up, and all of a sudden the vehicle's kind of going like this, she said. And she's like, you know, just holding on with dear life, getting it to the RV park. She had to get her car, right? Because her vehicle was there, her SUV was there. So she gets it there, parks it. There's 2 people there on site. The other one had left, and the young woman who was checking the vehicle back in, she was put in her vehicle and said, no, you got to go with me. We got to get out of here right now. So she gets her in the car, and then she lets her out because her family shows up, and Sarah and her 3 children got on the road to try to come home, and they could not make it because the storm was right over them. So they exited, ran into Buc-ee's, and all of the people there who were stuck there, and her included, now with her 3 children, in the rain, soaking wet, ended up in the bathroom stalls in Stuckey's when the storm passed over, right over them. So don't think that when I get excited telling you as a mom and a grandmother, I was stressed to the max and I had no idea that was happening, but we knew that she was right in the midst of it. And so thank God, praise God, that for me, that you know, she was able to get back home and everything went fine, because that was our close call. It was really
Definitely.
pretty scary. Mhm. So anyway, so that's my story. Who do I need to advise right now? Just would like to be advised right now. If you want to keep your times, that's fine. I do have my schedule. I just didn't grab it up in a panic with this other stuff I thought I had. Okay.
I'm ready to go, Dr. Savage.
Okay. All right. If
I
you'll
have,
just hold on a minute. And
I
Jaylee.
have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I said that real country. um, okay, I'm supposed to be advised at 2, but I have to go do my volunteer hours. Is it okay if I still come back at 2, or you want me to still stay and wait to be advised?
Well, if you need to go do your hours, then you know,
It ends at 1. I didn't know if that would be, if that's it, I can contact them and let them know if I mean, I don't mind staying to get advised, but I can contact and let them know. But that was
Well,
just a question of mine.
okay, but no. If you don't, if you've got something else and you scheduled your appointment with me around that, I definitely don't want you to change your schedule. I've got you on my schedule for today, unless I've missed your appointment. Like tomorrow, I had tried to get with her this morning first thing, but I didn't get my stuff set up in order to get her email and to do that. So
Yes, ma'am.
So
So
it's up to you if you want to stay or not.
Okay, so 2 will still be okay though.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Okie doke.
Hey, Dr. Savage, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
Did you want to do mine now, or do you want to just get back on at 5?
If you want to get back on at 5, because your appointment is still good for 5, if that's
Okay.
what you want to do. If you want to wait a minute, of course, we're 9:18 by my watch, but if you want to wait a minute, then Tamara is going to go first. And then, you know, you can go into the breakout room so you have privacy if you want to hold on or just jump back on in a minute.
Okay. You had asked me in the email if I had my degree sheet, and I don't have that.
Right. And I will send that to you. And it's going to take me a minute. I can't do it right during advising because I'm, you know, by the seat of my pants
Okay.
getting going
Well,
here. So
if it's okay with you, we'll just stick with the 5 o'clock then.
okay, that's
If that
fine.
works. I
Yeah,
just wanted to
that'll
hop
work.
back on and make sure.
Okie doke. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. So Hannah, are you going to go ahead and be advised?
Yes, ma'am. I had emailed yesterday about scheduling an appointment for today, but then the tornadoes decided to blow through Alabama.
Yeah.
So first off, just glad that you're okay.
Oh,
You and
yeah.
your
Thank
family.
you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yes,
appreciate
ma'am,
that.
I can be advised after Tam.
Okay. All right. Well, Tamara, if you will go ahead, because I opened it up that you could, let me see. You should be able to just click on, do you see the breakout rooms by any chance?
Oh, wait, breakout rooms. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you should see, it says unassigned in the 2 names. Do you see that? Or it may look different on your end.
Let me click. It says join room 1.
Yeah. Join you room 1. Correct.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm just gonna sign out right quick.
Hannah?
Yes, ma'am. I couldn't hear you at first.
Okay, yeah, my mic was off when I left the breakout room there. Okay, so let me pull up your flight path here. So do you know what you want to take or have to take? You should be getting close to field, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, God, did I advise you into Latin and you failed it? Can you hear me? Oh, wait, I don't hear you. There you
Sorry,
go. That's okay.
my degree sheet from last semester.
Okay,
I'm gonna disclose something. I
okay.
have and being neurodivergent, especially when I was a kid, I would like break sentences down into parts of speech. Like I don't even know how to like describe it. I'm going to somehow utilize this for my future career, but somehow to explain this to other kids who are like me, who are going through school kind of just blindly in a society that really doesn't like understand at all. And I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
That's quite all right. We're the only two online right now. That's quite all right.
Well, Dr. Savage, I had a friend of mine who I thought was a friend, who I trusted, and I found out that he called me the most stupid person he had ever met, and I just act autistic.
Oh,
I've never had a friend be so ableist, especially behind my back, but I've never had somebody discriminate me in my disability and calling me stupid.
I'm so sorry.
So it's just, that's why I told my classmates earlier about that it's okay that your journey is supported. Everything that you've been through is supported and valid, and it's okay to mess up sometimes.
Mhm.
And social work, but I finally felt social work. Social work is where I felt valid, finally, because Miss Ginger, who is at Heart of Hospice, who is my advisor or my supervisor for my volunteer hours,
Mhm.
like she's already asked me if I would stay for my internship next year for field.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, Hannah.
That I really want you on our team, and it made me feel so like I don't even know. Like I don't regret anything that I've ever been through, all my trials and tribulations throughout my college degree or whatever, because I fully believe that God put me on this path for a reason, and whenever he finally brought me to this field, I couldn't be more grateful. I'm so sorry that I went off
Oh,
on
no, that's quite all right. I appreciate hearing your story. My word. I did not, I mean, I would never know unless I've received something from, Student Center or, that you told me this. This is amazing. It's wonderful. And it's so heartening to see you share that with me, and also to know that you've been seen, that you are in a place where you can actually do something with your life as work or a calling, where you can actually make a living, but also help other people similar to your situation. That's amazing. That's awesome. And you gave me two new terms to use in the diversity development that we like to do with students, and that is ableist. You use the word ableist. That's awesome, as well as neurodivergent. I had to write it down because, man, I need to get up to speed with that, especially with our disabilities course. I'm going to pass that on to the new instructor with that course. That's awesome. And so you were seen, not just in your courses and the content of your courses, but now also with this person is at Heart of Hospice. That's amazing and wonderful. It's very heartening for me, for you, truly. Very good. All right. And I'm glad that you're going to use that. You know, people come into counseling fields, including social work, for that very reason of their own issues. You know, the ones who do well are like you, that see that as a potential that they can use to help other people similarly, and then are able to, you know, learn and skill develop in that helping process, in this case in social work, that you would be able to maintain those boundaries in ways that, you know, people needed to do for you, you know. So there's actual research studies about this, that people come into counseling fields really to heal themselves by helping others heal, you know. So that's awesome. Very good. Wow. Well, you know, hearing you today and, you know, making me go whoop, whoop, and that's so cool what you said to everybody was, you know, your friend, your long-term friend couldn't be more hurtful, because that is not the case with you, my dear. I promise you. Okay. Well, with that, you want to go ahead and get advised?
Yes, ma'am.
right.
Also, I want to disclose something. I know that it says an F for the midterm grade for the interview class. That's because a 0 was entered for a really big assignment. And I was like, oh, Miss Beck, like, what's up with this? And she was like, okay, we'll get this fixed, but it's just a midterm grade, but it's already submitted to the registrar's office.
Uh-huh.
But I have a B in that class now.
Okay, excellent. Okay, great. Wonderful. That's great to hear. So yeah, I have another student in one of my classes that I had to give an I to because of the ones that I got grades posted for. This class is one of them, but it was a different class, that not this one, but that I gave an I to because the same thing. I knew that the was a good student, and it was kind of weird that stuff wasn't happening, and learned that it was technical problems, you know. So I'm sure Miss Specs is responding that way too. I hope. I'm sure she's a good person. She was one of our students some time ago.
Yes.
All right, dear. So
Well,
I'm sorry, what?
she communicates with us really well, and I really appreciate that about her. I mean, you do too, but
Oh,
because so especially like in the pandemic and everything, I'm not like solely putting it on professors, because I know y'all are completely burnt out, like completely. But some professors, like I had another professor who I emailed more than once, no response. It's a little discouraging as a student.
yeah. Well, I hate that too, but you know, there are those in every profession. So,
Right.
but there are more good ones than there are not so good ones, right? Or those that
Right.
could improve. Okay. All right. So what are we doing for it? Now, flight path, I just told Tamara, I guess leaving in a panic yesterday. I don't know what I did with my stack of the printouts, and I cannot pull up at this moment from my ULM laptop that I can access your degree sheet. So you have your degree sheet. I'm going to have to rely on you to use that with me as your guide, okay? Because the flight path, as you know, is never updated like it ought to be and has glitches. So the only thing it's good for is just getting your advising flag removed. So what about this Latin? What's happening with that?
I'm just gonna drop the course at this point. It would just be easier to go ahead and I don't know. I thought that maybe since it was a more quote unquote more simple, but no class is ever going to be quote unquote more simple.
That's true.
In my personal struggles, and I probably should have disclosed that to the professor at the beginning of the semester. But he also said, if you're ever going through a hard time or anything, don't email me about that.
Oh,
Yeah, he was like, if you miss something and if you email me later on, I was having a hard time, don't do that. I don't want to look at it. I've been doing this long enough.
mm,
And it was just, I guess because since like the social work program, like since we think the way that social workers do, that life happens for people and
right.
that there's more grace in that aspect. So it kind of just, it threw me off a little bit. So I've kind of just been trucking.
Mhm,
And
mm,
so I'm probably either just going to do Spanish at LDCC this summer with Tamara,
mhm,
or I'll take another class in the
mm,
fall. But I know
okay,
that I'm trying not to have as many classes as like the least amount of classes as possible in the spring.
okay,
So if that's possible, I would like to do that. And I'm open to taking summer and winter courses.
okay, all right. Okay, so that's good news. So in the fall, we know you need to take this 3015 because you've got all of the courses in line. And Hun, just listening to you, you could not be in a better place. You are going to be an awesome professional social worker. I can see you doing amazing things. I mean, I'm nerdy enough that I don't know. I've been a mother long enough and a grandmother now that I just get, I don't know. Y'all are like children, my children. You're adults. I know. But, I have to be careful about that boundary too. But I just get chills thinking about how articulate you are about what we are about in this profession. And you are just going to do good things. I just know it. I can't wait to hear from you when you are doing those great things. By that time, you better make sure somebody good, a good social worker is making sure I have social connections when I'm in a nursing home. Okay. So I'm just saying. All right. So you're going to be awesome. You're going to fly. You're amazing. Okay. So, you have done the 4070. Okay. And did you take the political science and it's just not showing up, or do you need to do that in the fall? There's a political science. Okay. What about this second political science? Is it showing up on your degree sheet or not? Your mic's muted, sweetie.
Oh, okay. So these two classes right here, this is the statistics class and this is the political science class, and that's it for on the other requirements part.
Okay. What about this English 3024? Did
And
you take that?
And I need to take that.
Okay. All
Professional
right.
writing.
Okay. Now this social statistics is not offered in the summer. I don't know about winter because we don't have that schedule yet, but it's you would have to take it in the fall.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 to be ready for field. This 3003 and 3015. You have to take those and of course finish everything else to be prepared for field, right?
Right.
Did you do another social work elective somewhere?
I'm in diversity right now with Dr. White.
Okay, good. All right. So that you already got that covered. Okay, so then you've got 5 courses you have to take. Keep your eye on that winter schedule if you're open to doing that so that you can relieve some of that burden. Okay, because you want to try to work to keep up your GPA and course. Well, I'm looking at pointing at the wrong thing. All of the courses for the major, like look on the right hand side of your degree sheet and you see that all the courses for the major are at the top column, the top right hand column, right? So that's the GPA that master's programs look for. Okay. And
Yes.
with this degree, if you keep those up, then you're a shoe-in for an advanced standing. And you're at a point where some of the advanced standings, like I think Grambling and LSU, I believe, don't quote me on this, you'd have to verify it, as do I need to do that. But I think they've even waived the GRE and the advanced standing. And if you've got an undergraduate degree and you've done at least, you've passed it and got the degree in social work, then you can go straight in. That would be a great advantage for you if you're thinking about that. And the reason I'm talking this way to you is because you're so amazing for the field, and to be able to go straight into doing that, I don't see any other path for you. I really don't. You just need to just go straight through, get that licensure down pat, get that experience behind your belt, and then just go forward from there. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get you in policy. Oh my goodness, in 3003. So anyhow, so that's what you got. That's what you're looking at. And if this, like say, for example, this 4071 is offered in winter session, you might want to think about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Or even this 3024. Did you do pretty well in your Englishes? Yeah. So that would probably be a good one. Those short sessions, summer and winter sessions being so short and cramming in so much. That's why you can't take more than 6 hours, and 9 only more than 6 with approval, right?
Right.
Is because they cram so much in a short period of time. So you don't want to, that about yourself. So you want to make sure that you pick the course that's going to be easiest and is available. If they don't have what you need available, you just have to buckle down and only do that one course during that session, right?
Yes.
So if you are down for those courses and you take care of that Spanish, I like your idea of doing that with Tamara, because if you happened in the same section, that would be great. And plus you'd be able to maybe support each other. I don't know. But yeah, so you got to get that down and behind you too. So you're ready.
Okay, so one other question. So it
Mhm.
says on here, can you see that the second, is this another social work elective?
Yeah.
Right here.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, those are my dogs. Just
Aw.
But so what are the classes that I will be taking in the spring? So I can go ahead and write that on here.
Okay. All right. In the spring, you will be taking now you got to get these 5 courses down, and that foreign language down, at Delta, which I highly encourage, because I have other students do that, and I had been advising them to do that with no feedback until this semester about that. So I'm glad we've got that feedback as we're going through our transitioning with leadership. And anyway, so your courses for spring will be Social Work 4016. That's your second practice course. And then 4021 that I'm pointing to here is your actual field work. That's where you're working, 4 days a week, 8-hour days in an agency. And since you've already got, hospice lined up, that would be amazing. And it sounds like you've got a good person there to maybe mentor you. Now, is that another social worker?
You froze, Dr. Savage.
Oh. Uh-oh.
There you go. You're unfrozen now.
Okay, great. Anyway, so you're taking that. I don't need to necessarily go back there unless you want me to. I can. But you need to take the 4016, which is your second practice course, is what I was saying. Your 4021, which is your field placement, where you are doing the 8-hour work days, 4 days a week, Tuesday through Friday. And then the other course, Social Work 4022, is what's called your field seminar. And there are assignments there that help you build a portfolio to launch you into your career, either as a registered social worker, undergraduate degree, prepared to go straight to work somewhere, or to go straight into a master's, right? So whichever route you choose. Of course, that's up to you. I'm just encouraging you because you're just so amazing. I mean, my word, if anybody has embraced what social work is and articulated any better, I I know I've had some students, but you're the most recent one that has done that for me since I've returned to ULM, a couple years ago. So anyway, so that let me park that for a minute. But that's what you have left. You have the social work 4016, 4021, and 4022.
So for the spring, I'll be taking policy, which is 3001, or is that 3003 or 3005?
3003 is, wait a minute, you're in 3005 now. Let me
Okay.
go back to share screen. And
okay.
Oh, there you are. Okay, no, what you're going to take in the spring is English 3024.
Okay.
You're going to take the other political science 2002.
Okay.
You're going to take sociology 4071. And then you're going to take social work 3003. That's your policy course.
Okay.
And then you're going to take 3015. That's your first practice course.
Okay. And this second social work elective, can that be anything that was on the little banner sheet? I should have taken family problems this semester, but if it's offered next semester, should I take that too? As the second social work elective?
But is diversity, I thought diversity, is that a sociology course?
Yes, ma'am, but it is it was listed underneath the social work elective sheet on the banner. That's what Dr. Salisbury told me last semester. So I'm hoping that I took the right course for this social work elective, because whenever I asked her, what are some social work electives that could be on this degree sheet, because I didn't know. And she said, well, that's not my job to tell you. You need to look it up in banner. I was like, okay, I understand. Yes, ma'am. So I looked underneath the social work classes and the sociology section, and that was in there. Renata Martin is in the same class as me.
Okay, hold on a minute. Yeah, I can't. Let me pull up your transcript. I can't get your degree sheet from this personal laptop, and I don't have what's your number? Just tell me your number. Oh, wait, I got to do this first.
Because diversity is social work 4021 on here.
Oh, wait, diversity, it is labeled as social work, SOCW.
Yes,
oh, well, you're good. You're good. You're
okay.
good. You're good. Yeah. Yeah. And I knew that didn't sound like Dr. Salisbury. Yeah. You do look up, students are supposed to be looking at what the description of the courses are to decide, right? That's what she meant. But
right.
yeah, as long as it's got the label of social work, you're good.
I think it threw me. Dr. Salisbury kind of scares me a little bit because she's really intimidating, and she's always had a lot going on, and that's kind of just her personality, just to be dry and blunt. Because I was in a class with her last semester too, and so I was just like, okay, I understand. I'm sorry, but I didn't take it personally or anything like that.
Well, good, because she's very caring underneath that. So I'm telling you, but it's good to have instructors like that, though, even in social work, because you got to get the stuff, you got to get the content, and so that's part of her approach. Sometimes I think actually that's better. I've had many colleagues over my career in academia, social work academia, that I've seen get quite a lot of letters back from students who complained during, but afterwards said thank you to them. So, and I think probably more so than me, because I take more of a I'm more of an open and a different personality structure, I guess, but sometimes I want students to show initiative more than just, recitation, but that you got to have both, you got to have both. You got to have initiative, and you got to have some mastery, recall of the content, course content. So it's just different styles, but good. Yeah. All
Okay,
right
so
then.
one last question. I'm so
Go
sorry.
ahead. No,
But,
no, you're the only
oh.
one here, so go ahead.
So I was talking to the social worker who came by the agency last week. I cannot remember her name to save my life. I feel bad about it, but I don't think she said it to me. But we were talking about the benefits and the disadvantages of getting they called it an RDA or RDH or something like that after graduating. It's something that you can choose to go ahead and get with your bachelor's
In social
before you
work?
go to master's. Yes, ma'am. But
Okay.
it's RD something. I had never heard of it, but I was, whenever I find out, can I email you about that? Because
Yeah.
they were talking about the benefits and the disadvantages, but because some people, one of them said like it's not worth it to go ahead and get it. You might as well just go straight into grad school, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I was confused.
Well, yeah, do email that. Yeah, do email that to me, because I don't know about that. And I was about to try to pull up the Louisiana Board of Social Work Examiners. That's where you go to get your license, right? And all I know is the RSW, Registered Social Worker. So that must be something else that somebody else knows about that I've not been exposed. Oh, Registered Social Worker, RSW. Yes. Okay, well then, yeah, the RSW is, yeah, if you're going to go for the master's, just go straight. If you're going to go straight through, just go straight through. And then when you get done.
Plan as of now is to apply for the advanced standing program at LSU and do the online program so I can do my grad school internship up here, because I've already talked to the social worker at the VA, and she said that if I do well in undergrad and if I do well if I get into the advanced standing program, she said I could do my internship there at the VA with her.
Oh, awesome. That's another area I feel passionately about, because there are so many women who are increasing in numbers in the military, and Lord knows they need social workers. And guess what? LCSWs are the preferred counseling field to marriage and family or professional counseling. And that's because we were there first. Mm-hmm.
That's what Miss Chat said. She's she's the social worker at the VA. She's actually her kids went to the same school as my siblings.
Oh.
So she met my mom, so she met me, and then I was telling her about not being able to find something that really encompassed like who I was, and she was like, Hannah, social work, do what I do. I could totally see you in that field. And I was like, I know that social workers do more than take kids from the houses, but like I don't have the backbone for that. And she said, literally, she said, you can do anything with it. Just try it out. I really encourage you to. Been here ever since.
Bless her heart. She was an angel for you. Yeah.
Really.
Now, what's her name? She's at our VA here in Monroe, the VA.
Chatsney Hughes. She said that she was a former student of yours.
Yes, indeed. Excellent. Well, good for her. That's exactly right. Yeah, and see, we also are the only counseling license on the master's level that can be reimbursed for Medicare. And professional counselors are trying to undo that right now. And and this sounds terrible and conflicting with our values, right? Because we're supposed to respect our colleagues and work interdisciplinary, and that's true. But where we have ground that gets diluted by these other disciplines that came along in the 70s, and we've been around for over 120 years now, that we don't want to lose that ground. It's kind of like, nurses don't want to lose their ground to EMTs because they can kind of do similar things. You know what I mean? So they
Right.
can't get a nursing license and go do nursing stuff. And the problem though with us is that we have that like fine line between marriage and family professional counseling and what we're about and do. You know, they put more of the emphasis on the actual helping process, which is wonderful. I've actually even thought about maybe going back to, you know, when they first brought the MFT or the MFT and then the professional counseling to ULM. That was before I started my doctorate. And thank God they brought that along, because I had thought about doing that because I knew they did that focus on counseling at that time. But that was before I knew about Medicare. I learned that going into private practice the hard way, because I got kind of exploited by practitioners who, you know, were marriage and family therapists in Alabama at that time. And I ended up being, you know, said, oh yeah, come join us. You know, I was going to do it part-time while I was teaching there. I'm just talking. So if you need to go, we can go.
Oh no, you're good. I don't have I won't have to get off until like 10:30.
Okay, well,
That-
I won't keep you. I promise I won't keep you to 10:30, because I got to find those
Point is-
other sheets and get these folk advised. Anyway,
I
so
was
that I had to reschedule.
Tamara about that because something got brought up in our interview class or something, and I was talking to Tamara about it. We were discussing, and I told her, I was like, you know, it's about time that social workers really do band together and stand up for ourselves, because
Yes.
we're so like disrespected by colleagues, and you know, and people think that like I just, especially after the trials of Gabriel Hernandez, whenever it came out on Netflix, like I saw on social media like so many people just trashing social work and social workers.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to be like, y'all don't understand. There's only so much that social workers can do, and we are trying
Right.
to them from inside out by, you know,
Yeah.
by new social workers like my graduating class. And
That's
I
exactly right.
future, after I'm done here, I plan on moving, since I don't have a boyfriend or children or anything like that tying me here. My family is here, but I can visit. But I plan on just traveling the country and really trying to work on policy across the country to be able to really advocate for marginalized populations who don't have a voice or don't have representation. Like, I'm really passionate about Black Lives Matter, and I'm really passionate about Indigenous lives. Like, I really want to someday in the future, these are all just dreams and goals, but somehow, some way, be able to make this country better. I don't even know how to I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm gonna try. And I feel like social work is the best.
I just have to tell you that I am just so, you have just made my day repeatedly today, child. You have truly made my day, because this is exactly, you know, like, oh my gosh, I just have to be emotional, you know, because for people like me and others in the field who have, you know, have found this accidentally throughout in our careers early on. And, you know, we didn't really get information about our discipline. We didn't really focus on socializing you in the profession. That's another whole dry lecture, but you are manifesting that process, and that gives me hope for your next generation of social workers who will be able to advance what we do, because that's what makes us different from other counseling fields, is that we do have that commitment to social betterment. We really do. And we know that social change is incremental, but it takes those of us who are working with vulnerable populations in whatever realm that makes them vulnerable, that it takes those of us who have that dual commitment, not only to help them individually, but also to help them in changing environments by changing policy. So, oh my goodness, child, I'm just looking forward to hearing more from you as you go through. Just it's very, very nice to encounter you today this way. Truly is. Okay, well, very good. Very good. So are we done? You got a plan? You know what you're registering for? And
Yes, ma'am. And the only thing that I have left for a psychology minor is a psych statistics class.
oh. Well, you have to take a statistics course. You have to take social statistics.
Yes, ma'am.
And hold on just a minute. Let me go back to flight path. Wait a minute. Your flight path ought to be here somewhere. There. No. There it is. Okay. You ought to still be up there. There you go. Okay. All right. Okay. You see this social statistics? Switch that to psychology because that would count. It's actually psychology professors, Dr. Ewing, that teaches that. Anyway.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
so I could take the psychology statistics class instead.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can transfer that over. In fact, if we look that up, which I will do,
Okay, I need like advisor permission to take that class since I'm not a psychology major. Because I tried to take that class this semester and it wasn't allowed to register.
Okay.
Because
hold on a minute, Hannah. I may need to sign off because this is Renata. I need to. Yes, ma'am, Miss Martin. Hello. I'm okay. I've been trying to pull myself together with this situation. Sorry about that. Yeah, yeah, you shouldn't have, if you're minoring in that, you shouldn't have a problem with having them approve that. And then of course we'd have to do a substitution class, but that's no big deal, right? So yeah, check on that and see what's offered. In fact, let's go back to Banner and just take a look at that. Oh, oh wait. In fact, let's see if it's offered in summer. Have you looked at that yet? Or you probably haven't since we're just now talking about it. I don't know what course number that would be. Oh, there's the statistics. It is online and this is summer. I think I just clicked on summer. Yeah. So if you wanted to try to do it then, but I don't know, statistics is a course that I recommend highly, especially for us social work majors, that you consider doing in a regular term. And the reason is because as social work majors, we tend not to be so great in math, and statistics is a lot of math. It's a different application of math, but it's a lot of math. In fact, I managed to get through it in my undergraduate and graduate, but by the time I got to PhD, holy cow, do you know that Dr. Salisbury and I both went to ULM and audited an undergraduate class with one of our old professors that we worked with, and I actually had as a student at ULM. And we actually audited it one summer and went every day to that class to get through our class at Jackson State where we went. We sure did. So I encourage you to be aware of that. Now I want to go back. What are your courses? Just tell me before I go back and lose this sheet I need to give her. What were your math courses like? Oh yeah. You would definitely need to, maybe take it where you can, concentrate on it. And summer or winter would be great, but by itself. If you had a situation where you have to do it every single day, because I remember that's what Dr. Hale, the rest his soul, used to be at ULM and taught statistics and sociology when there was a sociology program. And he said, you need to do this every day. You need to practice every day. And he wasn't kidding. See, that's what I didn't do the first time I went through it. The second time I went through it, by the skin of my teeth, I got through it. But that at the PhD level was no joke, so getting that basics down is important. And if you do it, like Dr. Hale told us, do it every day, practice, you will get it. Okay. And you'll pass it. And that's all you got to do is pass it. So yeah, check on that and do that. So I think that would be great to get that minor. Because that looks good too when you go into the master's, and also when you go into other fields, other fields of practice in social work. So okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay, so you good? All right. Okay, your mic's muted.
Yes, ma'am.
I saw you do that, so you didn't have to repeat it. Okay, so very good. So you good to go?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, you're very welcome. Thank you for making my day and showing that we got a good, strong group coming up. That's awesome. Very good. All right. So take care and have a good rest of your day, and go forward. Do good work. Stand up for us. Yes. All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.